communicate with you in ISL.
I would love to. I would love to. And I will. I will.
Great.
Guys, we are live now.
Manisha, you can turn on here. Great. Great. I am so happy to see all of you all here today. Such a special day. It's International Day of Sign Languages today, and it is marked as an important day since 2018, since UN announced this day to be the special one. Waving hands for that. I would like to thank Ink Records for having us on board today and having this live discussion about ISL translated music that came out recently, the 5 songs that came out recently here in India. And all of you all have been a part of this nearly for 6 weeks of planning and working out and everything. And finally, it is all out. And we will be discussing more about that, how your experience has been, and how you were able to spread awareness related to Indian Sign Language here in India. Firstly, I would be asking questions to you all related to your background. If you could tell your name and where you're from. Firstly, Manju.
Hello, my name is Manju and this is my sign name. I'm from Kerala.
Thank you, Manju. Hardeep, please.
My name is Hardeep and this is my sign name. And I'm from Delhi.
Muskan.
Hello, thank you for giving me the opportunity. My name is Muskan Bhatia and this is my sign name and I'm from Delhi too.
Over to Ashish.
My name is Ashish and this is my sign name. I'm from Dehradun.
Sunil.
Hello, I am Sunil. This is my sign name and I'm from Mumbai.
I forgot myself here. My name is Dr. Alim Chandani, ALIM. And firstly, my question is to you all who have been a part of making these ISL videos. If you could tell, in brief about how your experience has been reading the lyrics and then discussing about them and then translating them by yourself and signing the whole thing. How did that experience go? Firstly, I would like to ask Muskan.
Yeah, so when I saw the video that's being translated in ISL, I thought that it would be difficult, But yeah, I do understand the thing that yeah, we have to sign in an abstract manner. So that's how I realized, and I tried my best as well. That was the first time I did it, and it was interesting too.
So would you want to do that kind of a thing again, or do you feel satisfied enough that you want to do it now?
Yes, indeed, I would love to do it.
Great. So now I would ask Sunil that you are the one who actually read the lyrics and provided the ISL consultancy for translating them in different languages. Like it had Urdu words and Hindi words, and then translating it to English and in Indian Sign Language. So it was a 3-way translation. How did that go for you?
Yeah, actually, it was a challenge for me. It was quite difficult. There were a lot of words which was quite having an abstract meaning. So what the things would be happening in our society, that was something related to it. So it was quite difficult to translate in ISL. But yeah, we tried to understand the context, whatever it's having in the audios. So it actually took time. But the most challenging thing was that we do understood the fact that it was the abstract one, but we have to do it on the same time, simultaneously. So that took time, but our signers, Hardeep, Muskan, Ashish, oh, I'm so glad to work with them. I was so surprised. We tried hard together, but we took time as well. So it was, we have to focus on the perfect translation as well, but we had the great experience together.
Hardeep, I know that you've already done such a video in the past. and now you had more responsibility since you had to manage other new signers as well, and you had to work more with Sunil in terms of translations. You had to lead the whole thing. So how was your experience like?
Yeah, I'm so glad to working with Sunil. It was very much interested for me and also a new thing. We learned a lot. We do thought that yeah, how we can translate the things. Sunil being a ISL expert and I am the signer, so we worked together in a great manner. And also the Ashish, Muskan, and Manju, three of them they joined us and we worked together, and they were like that they were actually ready to learn the things again and again. They would ask us again and again, so the people were so energized to do it.
So, now that you've all worked hard so much working from home, and it was not like we were all there in one place. So, I think it was really great that, we were supposed to have an amazing Wi Fi, a workspace. Sometimes even we were working at night, morning, such time shifts. But you all took charge and you've done such an amazing work. So, waving hands for all of you here. Sunil, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, voice Manisha.
So,
So I was worried that, I was not worried that sign language is a way of expression, but translating that can go off point sometimes, because sometimes the expressions won't match or sometimes the meaning won't come out. So balancing that out, particularly, I single-handedly could not do that. It was very challenging. Thank you, that we could all discuss and we could just maintain that balance of the translation. It was wonderful experience, one heck of an experience for sure. Go ahead, Radeep. Manisha.
yeah. So when I watching the ink records, they were so open-minded to have the deaf people, deaf signers, and they already provided us the opportunity. So that was a great thing.
Yeah, yeah. Ink team was responding to us over emails and explaining us with clarity really quickly. They were like really fast track. So yeah, waving hands. I agree, and they definitely respect our community. They were open to ideas and listening to us, so that's great. I would now like to ask Ashish. Ashish, I know you've already done one video before, and this was your second time. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, you have asked a great question. So earlier, before recording that video, so I heard about the ink records and I wanted to do that thing. I was thinking how I could make such kind of a videos, but I was lucky enough that I got the opportunity from Ink Records and they started working with the deaf community. So we saw that yeah, Hardeep were rapping the song and Hardeep contacted me. I was interested. I was really interested to do that thing. So I thought, okay, that would be easy to translate it. But then we realized, no, we have to understand the abstract point of that, the context word in the abstract manner. So I would like to thank Hardeep for explaining to me in a brief manner. So that it took long time. We sometimes we took more time to translate it, and the music will go away. So that's how we thought that yeah, take we have to do in a simultaneously manner so that we could catch up the sound also the lyrics. But yeah, that was a new experience for me. But I was thinking that yeah, what that didn't stop me, and I'm still thinking that yeah, I will work more in the future with Ink Records, and I would like to thank Ink Records for this.
Waving hands, waving hands. Over to Manju. First time your experience. I know Muskan and you won the poetry jam last time, which Ink Record had a competition, and you both had joined in and you had sent your entries and you both won with your poetry, and that's why both of you were picked. So waving hands for that, applauses. So how was your first time experience working with Ink Link?
So I do had the experience of spreading across the video. I thought that would be the similar one, but then I understood that it's having a different concept. It took long time. We need to had the explanation. We have to be on point, and it can't go uh, off track. So that's how Hardeep explained to us every time. So, but yeah, that was a great, such a kind of a thrill experience for us. but yeah, when we will realize that yeah, we are signing in a correct manner, that's how we recorded our video. But it took so much hard work. So, but Hardeep was so encouraging person that he always encouraged us. So that's how he explained to us. That's how we got inspired, and he would always encourage us, and we felt energized while having the support of Hardeep. So that's how we learned more. I thought that it would not be enough to doing it in one time. Yeah, we need to practice it much.
Waving hands for you.
So thank you, team, for supporting me.
So yeah, I'm glad you had the opportunity as well. I know Ink Record had 5 songs, like they had sent 5 songs to Ranveer Singh, and they picked Muskan's. He picked Muskan's song and Or Karo and Manju's song on for his Instagram. So waving hands for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I must thank Ranveer Singh today. In the newspaper also, he has been definitely supporting ISL for the deaf community and to make it recognized as in the Indian constitution as the 24th official language. So he's been doing that for 2 years. So major thanks to him for supporting that. And related to the topic of ISL, before, there have been different kinds of music that people listen to, be it on TV, be it on radio. And I knew that deaf people, I would say hearing people think that how would a deaf person enjoy music or how would they listen to music? How it's something that we need to envisage. So I want to ask you all: do you guys enjoy music? Do you have headphones? How would you explain enjoying music now that you've seen ISL music as well? So how do you feel connected, or what is your analogy on that? Firstly, I'd like to ask Manju. Manisha, I'll interpret. As for music with the deaf community, I have worked for that, but not with the hearing world. It's been a bit different. I do understand signing, but I didn't know that if all deaf people would understand me. So thank you, Inkling, for giving me the opportunity, Ink Records, for doing this. So yeah, thank you for that. Hardeep, how do you feel? What's your experience been with music? So, music is like my best friend, and I feel connected to music all the time. Growing up, I was always interested in music, and I had never seen any deaf person, enjoying music in Indian Sign Language or anything. It was very, very less. And this was sort of an opportunity for us to bloom. Like, Manju has her own way of expressing in Indian Sign Language the music. Like that way, everyone does. So we want to uplift more and more deaf signers who can do that. And Ink Records has given us that platform where people could recognize our talents. And, not just me, but also, Ashish, Muskan, Manju, everyone. And it was like beautiful to watch. So it's a double thing, I can enjoy it with my ears a little bit and then with sign language as well. Sunil, Manisha?
Yeah. So, music, yeah, deaf people do sign with the music as well. But I know that in our community, when I met Manju, she's from Kerala. So earlier I couldn't remember that, yeah, if she could sign for the music. But now if I could see that, yeah, Ink Records, like when they begin with this work, the situation is getting much better. Now people, I could see that, yeah, people could easily see that, yeah, Muskan, Manju, they are ready and they are doing this work. So I'm so glad to do this thing. So it takes me to the upper level. Whenever I see, I actually don't like using much, but we have the vibration and we could feel that. So that's how when you have more milk or sugar in tea, and you will have the great one. That's how the deaf signers makes the video much accessible one for the deaf people.
Right,
Yes.
Muskan? Yeah, just like Hardeep, I would say that, growing up, I have always enjoyed music and looking at TV, little bit of sound, whatever it is. I had enjoyed that. And I didn't know that deaf people could be a part of music. I thought only hearing people could. And when I saw that, people around the world are signing music, I was young at that time and, maybe I got busy with the things. And um, when Vartalap came in, and I was like, wow, I want to do that. I really want to do that. and it just gave me, I got an opportunity with the competition that AMF had, and I applied and I gave my entry and I won, and today I'm here doing music in ISL. Is a great thing.
Wow, waving hands for you.
Ashish?
Yeah. So when in my childhood time, I didn't listen music much, but yeah, I could see when people would be moving around the stage. Later on, I felt when I was 12 or 13 years old, I'll be asking my friends, why are you listening songs? How would you actually could hear the lyrics? But they say that yeah, we could feel the beat or the vibration. That's how I felt that yeah. When I saw the video of Hardeep, the Inkling Records. Then before that, I saw one person who was signing in ASL, American Sign Language, in America. But I couldn't understand what the person is actually signing. But yeah, I could feel the moves of a person, and I felt I had goosebumps that I thought that yeah, I would definitely would like to do this kind of a thing. So now we actually have this thing now here in India. So the first thing which came to me when the Ink Records launched the videos, then people thought that yeah, actually a deaf person could uh, do use ISL for translating it. But I would like to thank Dr. Alim for connecting with Ink Records and also discussing the ideas that no, it's not mandatory to have the hearing interpreters to translate the video. We could have the deaf signer who can translate the audio in Indian Sign Language. So that's how we did step by step. And actually, Ink Records believed in our capability that yeah, we could do this thing, and also we are having a more viewers like these days.
Ashish, what do you have to say? Yeah, like, about Dr. Alim here, and we saw that so many hearing interpreters, etc., are been doing that. But we definitely want more and more deaf people to come in the picture and they can be a part of it. Yes, hopefully, definitely. So you mean that means that you all have to take the lead, you all have to keep practicing and write your own lyrics. Not mandatory to just write, just even come up with signs and discuss that. So the time is that the tables have to be reversed now. So you have been matching to the hearing audience. Now we have to express in Indian Sign Language. Like hearing people have been writing their lyrics. So we have to match and fit the needs of their writing. So in future, hopefully the tables can turn wherein the deaf people would be signing in and hearing people have to really work hard and understand and match and get the lyrics in spoken languages. So hopefully that day is not that far when I can see that. Yeah. So my question, it's a perfect time. My question is to Sunil now. And I would like you to explain what's the difference between interpreter signing it and a deaf person signing the music. Yeah. So you're asking me? Yeah. Okay. This is related to music, right? Yes. So the difference is maybe the interpreter is excellent. I'm not saying that that it's I mean it's not that they can't be great. I'm not saying that. Some people have okay sign language, some people have great sign language. But the problem and the difference is the way of expression, the way the words, the way a deaf person expresses it. Maybe that cannot be caught that much in a hearing person signing it. Whereas in a deaf person signing it, it's very different. So some hearing people sign as well, but the best model is to have a deaf person sign it. So that means generally, like deaf people can possibly translate music or anything. Yes, yes. Okay. Other topic. So now the concept of access. Earlier, music was not accessible. It was more spoken and everything. And now that you guys have started translating it, and more people are watching the music, they're enjoying the songs. Since they are accessible, there are captions, and there is audio. It's all three. There's audio, signs, and captions. So great job done by Ink Records for encouraging these three things for access. So in India, I have seen many deaf people responding on Instagram or on Facebook that thank you, why they have always been interested in music, but they were always worried that deaf people cannot do it, something that they'll fail at. But now that they've seen you guys They are so thankful, they're so confident, and they see you as role models and want to copy you. So waving hands for doing that. And their parents also, now that they're seeing that so many things are happening, they're also allowing them and letting them do what they want to do. So waving hands to you guys for keeping an open mind and keeping and letting them have an open mind for this and letting them continue. So thank you all. Yeah. Hardeep.
Yeah. So one thing related to Dr. Allen, I would like to say that like we are now launching the videos, and also people are seeing us as a role model, correct? So there's a one deaf person from UK who is being doing things, and also he got inspired from India, and he thought that he would like to do, and he would like to collaborate with India, and he thought that if he can work with us. So that's how, how people have the knowledge about this thing, that how the ink records are doing it. Yeah, I could see that it's having a great impact.
So, music around the world, people have started joining in, and yeah, they've started. Possibly we can have collaborations one day, but I think it's going to be beautiful to show the beauty of different sign languages and how they're all connected and how they can all work together. That's a great thought. Now, people are watching and they would want to know more about ISL, Indian Sign Language. So I want you all to add why ISL is important to you, and how can ISL benefit in inclusion? Yeah, any of you? Sunil?
Yeah. So it's a simple thing, language, Indian Sign Language. So it's a visual language. If a person can't hear, it means that they will depend on the visual thing. So ISL is having a great value in the deaf people's life. So if people would like to see or hear anything, they would see the visual thing. Or if they would like to see, there would be a two things only, right, to express themselves, whether they can hear or whether they can see. So if people would not have the ISL, then they can't grow in their life. So there are lots of things, happening around the world. People are encouraging sign languages. So now here in India, we are talking about the accessibility, but we forgot about the ISL. If we will remove ISL, how we can think about inclusivity? No. With the ISL, we can actually think about the inclusiveness. So with ISL, it means that you are including deaf community, and you can easily work together with deaf community. But some people do not get it. So we have to spread across the awareness related to it.
Right. Anyone else would want to add, Muskan? Yeah, I think ISL is extremely important. I think without ISL, I'm not confident at all. So when growing up, if I would not have had it, sign language, I would not have developed an identity. The barriers would be there. So ISL makes life easier, and be it in education, be it in different works of life, gives me confidence, and I always feel confident and feel hired on. So yeah, definitely. Ashish?
Yeah. So when I see ISL, it does have a great much value in our life. Whenever hearing people would see, they would say, "Oh, you can't listen." They just want them to just have the speech therapy and to try to hear only, and they would not focus for them to learn ISL. But with ISL, if they would involve in our community, if they would learn, that would actually provide us the opportunity to grow more in our life. So that's how ISL have the value in our life. So we do have the different kind of languages, English, Hindi. So that's how we have this language as well.
Over to Manju. Yeah, I have been fortunate that my parents are deaf, so I was able to communicate with them. Whereas when I see that, when deaf children are born to hearing parents, their access is different. Whereas for me, the access was different, and for them, the access has been different. Communication has been a problem. So they did not get an ISL access. For hearing people, they have to use gestures, etc. They have language deprivation, etc. And because the life becomes hard, when you don't have access there. So hearing parents have not been able to do that. But now I'm seeing that, be it hashtag with inclusion with ISL and different things that are coming in. I am seeing that deaf people are coming out. And in the US, when we see so much of things happening, I hope that same can be happening in India as well. And parents understand that they need to sign with their children. Hardeep?
Yeah, so I would like to say the same thing which everyone has said. Yeah, one interesting thing I would like to say, Muskan said that her parents are, sorry, Manju said her parents are deaf. So likewise with me as well, my parents are also deaf. But when I was young, so they used to sign, but they won't allow me to sign. I just keep wondering, they are themselves deaf person, but they are not allowing me to use the sign because we don't have the technology earlier. So they would say that yeah, don't sign, that you have to try to do this speech therapy and all. But now we could see that yeah, everyone is blooming, and we are having a great impact now in our society. So the deaf children who are having the hearing parents, their parents would also say that yeah, you don't need to sign, you should try to do, you should use the hearing aids and all. But it's okay, they are using the hearing aid, but again they should use the sign language.
Sunil?
There is nothing wrong with the parents, it's the problem with the system only. So we need to change the system, that's how people would have the more awareness.
Right. Sunil here, when I did not know that Manju and Hardeep and Muskan and myself, Sunil, my parents are also deaf. We're all from deaf family. So now I understand, that maybe the family has given us sign language and that's why we feel very confident. That means that, other deaf people who are not confident, Ashish doesn't have deaf parents, right? Sister's deaf. Okay, your sister's deaf. So you also grew up with that. So that means while growing up, people who get language access, their cognition is faster. So I'm just surprised that even my parents, when I was at home, we were living in the four walls of the house, signing was okay. But outside the four walls of the house, we were not allowed to sign because people didn't like it, and people thought it was a joke, people thought it was funny and we were monkeys. So here now, my father, when he was young, he would stop us, but now he enjoys it. He says no, we have to sign and this is our language. So I see deaf people growing in. It's okay, better late than never. So we have to take the lead and keep spreading the word of sign language across and make an impact. Waving hands to you. So the fact, 90% of deaf children are born to hearing parents, usually. And this particular group has the people who has a deaf family. So that is unique in itself. We don't often meet deaf people who have deaf parents. So great this about this group. A short thing, about my experience I would like to share here. Growing up, I grew up using speech and oralism and using a hearing aid, trying to use speech every day in all walks of my life, matching to the needs of the hearing world. But inside, I knew I was different, and I never understood what was different. I did not know that sign language existed. My parents did not know sign language existed. But while growing up, so oxygen, right? We all need O2, oxygen. I felt that something was wrong with me and I just needed something to breathe in. So when I met 2,000 deaf people in my college for the first time using sign language so confidently, they were all your role models. And then I understood, okay, this is my world. And I picked up ASL, American Sign Language, at that time and started signing and became so confident. So then I had to remove my oxygen mask. I did not, because my O2, my oxygen was sign language, and I started breathing on my own. So thank you to the deaf community, to the world, who has, given us sign language and it given us confidence. And this is my language, our language, and there's nothing wrong with it. So that's what this day is all about. That's what we are celebrating today. That's what we're discussing about today. It's a true language, and hopefully, the hearing world will be a part of it soon, and they will experience our world. Right. So now, a funny thing I'd like to share, which is something I imagine. if there's a country, that to get in, you need a passport, right, to get in a country, and people who know sign language, any sign language of the world, can get into that country. Okay, why? Because it's a fully accessible country. Right now, all of us have experienced autism, discrimination, no access on a daily basis, barriers and barriers and challenges, explaining the world what we need. It's not easy. It's not easy to work hard every day. So, how I'm imagining this, there's this one place where you don't have to worry about anything. You can normally just communicate, express yourself, provide 100% access everywhere. Okay, so I know Hardeep, and I don't know about others if you feel the same way. Musicians who sing and have their own, sign name as well. So I want to ask you that what are their sign names, Hardeep?
Yeah, so I discussed with Sunil earlier, he provided the sign name to all the people. So we discussed, and that's how we came to the point that, like, now we will explain for the Spitfire. The sign name is this for the Spitfire. Okay. And for Calm Bhari, this is the sign name. Third one, Slow Cheetah, this is a sign name. And the fourth is Devil.
Great.
So these are the four signs. Does this have meaning for Calm Bhari? Word is related to the spoken language word. So the Calm means work and Bhari means heavy. So that's how we give that sign name. This is the concept. And what is the concept behind Spitfire sign? So it's the spit. We actually not spitting, but whenever we have a dragon and they want to, if they are angry and they want to spit, so that's how this is signing like a fire.
Interesting, quite interesting. And I think it goes with the whole concept. Yeah. So now ISL awareness is increasing every day. I can see that. All of us can see that. And why is it important that ISL should become 23rd official language as per our constitution? Why do you think it's important? Any of you would like to answer? Hardeep, yeah? I feel that so much of hard work on making people aware, making people listen to us. Some people understand that ISL is important. Some people, they shake their head when they don't understand what it is. So we need a law or a system that showcases that this is an important thing. If it's in the system, everybody will automatically respect and everybody will automatically truly understand what ISL is all about. Yeah. Sunil, go ahead. Manju. Go ahead, Manju.
So, in other countries, when we see that, the deaf people, it's easy for them to involve. But I know that it's quite tough. We have to fight for our rights and we have to get it, the 23rd official language, so that deaf people actually have the presence in our society and people would know that, what ISL meant to them. So we actually wanted to.
So how does it make you independent? You mentioned something about independence.
So, the teachers can easily communicate with their students. They are just trying to communicate through gestures. They don't know the sign language. So if the students would learn through the bilingualism method, that would be easy thing. So I want ISL to be the first one language to be used for us.
Neil? Okay, sorry. I would want to know your opinion, Ashish, for sure. All right. Ashish here. So ISL to become an important 23rd official language, is because, there are Hindi, English, Marathi, Tamil, all these languages are recognized. And, when you see it on a 10 rupee, 20 rupee note, automatically there is respect for that language. But we're not getting that kind of a respect that any other spoken language is there. So if it is also there on a 10, 20 rupee note, so how much impact it will create is big, I feel. Muskan, would you like to add something here? Muskan?
Yeah, you can go ahead. After that, I can add on. So ISL, if like we are fighting for it and we want to get it the 23rd official language, right? So we have around 18 million deaf people here in India. 18 million deaf people. So 130 crore people, the population of India. So for them, 18 million maybe is nothing, maybe zero. So they could easily discriminate deaf community. They say that, yeah, it's a minority, linguistic minority community. So for some people, for few people will understand this thing, but more people would be denying this fact. So getting discriminated all the time, that should be changed, and so the official recognition will give rights to us. So if people would not accept it, then it would be a difficult thing for us. So, in our schools, teacher would not allow us to use sign language. The same teacher, she's been asking me that I would like to learn sign language. Her mindset just got changed. Earlier she were not allowing me to use sign language. So right now she is accepting the fact that that people should be encouraged to use the sign language.
Manju? Yeah. So in hearing people have a deaf child, they force them with oralism or speech therapy and take their decision. And when there are deaf teachers, they can easily, advocate and tell that why sign language is important. It will give a way to the system when it's in the system that it's important that they take up sign language young, and that kind of a thing is important. So when it is there in the system, when it is there in the constitution, I think that will create a huge impact. Yeah, we'll see. Muskan? I think I would need more time to think about this answer. But I think when it comes to being freedom to sign, I would want freedom to access to everything. Like, Sunil said, I agree there. Yeah. Dr. Alim here, I think the world right now is advocating for their own national languages and their own, languages to be recognized officially. So I think 15 languages are there. So 15 languages more need to be there. So all countries are coming in together. And even for sign language, 15 countries have recognized their sign languages as their official language. So India is also trying to get there. What I see here in India, one thing which is very, very complex is in the US, there's only two languages. There's English, mostly 90% people are using English, 10% Spanish. Some people are using Spanish, right? And so two languages mostly. But when I came to India, every state has its own language. Kannada, Marathi, then there is Marathi, that's the sign. Then there is Tamil, then there is so many languages. And I'm like, oof, that is difficult. That is hard. I mean, how would you have language parity? But one thing which I see here is that I think people think that spoken language is a must, right? Whereas sign language is something that supports spoken language. Get better. I don't agree there. It's wrong ideology. Indian Sign Language is a language in itself. It has its own grammar, it has its own body language, which is equivalent to any language all over the world. Any language, any spoken language. So that kind of a misconception is there in India right now. And hopefully once, it's official, like you said, it helps in respect. And people will be interested to learn it, and there will be no misconception. It will be considered very normal then. In India, one of the few countries where people are already naturally using gestures here. They themselves are using gestures, but they're not realizing that they are using sign language. Right, right. Like for example, the auto guys, every day I'm taking an auto, I will point at them, right, left, this, that, pani, khana. They're naturally using it. Yeah, and they don't even know they're using it. Yeah, the hearing society. Yes, yes. In the US, I don't think they use. They are very like they are mumbling and no, there's no body movement. They're not comfortable using their body at all. That's why many deaf people, when they are traveling across the world, it's easy to communicate with other countries. It's easy. You can move your body, you can do gestures, and easily they can, food is this, hunger is this. Hearing people, when they have to think about what words to use, they have to open dictionaries to, you know, find out the right word of the language they have been using there. So sign language definitely has a lot of benefits there. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. I feel so proud, we are using sign language. So waving hands for everyone. We don't feel pity on us that yeah, we are deaf person, we are different from hearing people. No, I feel positive of it. That yeah, we are actually proud of it.
So sign language here, like, just explain like one benefit, like we're all chatting right now, and the other benefit which you could possibly see when hearing people to take up sign language. What do you think can be a benefit?
So Ashish, here, benefit. You are asking about the benefit for the hearing community or for the deaf community?
If a hearing person picks up sign language, they learn sign language, but what one benefit would they have?
So for an example, so whenever you are going in a pub, or there is loud music and you can't communicate with your friend and you want to speak to them. So if you will learn sign language, it would be easy. Whether it would be a loud music, that would not hamper your communication. You can easily talk with your friend.
Right, right. And if something happens, like you're standing far off, very far off, and you just want to have a short conversation, you can visually sign to each other and you can communicate. Right. Manju?
Right. Manju here. If you want to talk personal things, you can easily talk with your friend. You don't need to go away from other people. That would be easy. So it actually does have a much benefit of learning sign language.
Yeah, I think now, Manju, everyone would start learning sign language because they all want to have personal conversations. Muskan here. I think for me also, I mean, for personal discussions, etc., I think definitely hearing people will have a benefit. So yeah.
Yeah, Hardeep here. Yeah, I know that here in India there are more people who would like to see cricket and they would not like to talk to anyone. When we see Empire, they are using the gestures to show for the when person hit six or four. So that's not the boring thing, but it's something that would be a funny thing for everyone. That yeah, you could learn, and that would be an interesting thing for everyone.
Yeah. I think what one thing when we're eating every day, all of us, and if you're signing, we have to wait for the food to get chewed up and then go to our throat. We can still have food in our mouth and we can chat. So that's a big benefit. Even,
Right. Whenever we are swimming and we are under sea, we can still communicate with our friends through sign language. Correct? It would be easy.
yeah, yeah. There's so many benefits. So I just hope that people learn ISL and they feel that it's a culture in itself and they feel connected and they understand the benefits of sign language, Indian Sign Language. I know it's time to leave, but one last thing, for people who are interested in learning sign language, what one advice would you give them? Where to find information about learning sign language online? Who to learn it from?
Yeah, Sunil here. So I would like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi for encouraging ISL. He also put it up on his Twitter account that yeah, he is encouraging the ISL to use as a subject in schools, and also we have the 10,000 words of dictionary being launched by the ISL RTC. So there are being the institutes which are providing online classes But one thing I would like to suggest to all the hearing people, please learn sign language, and it's not the easy thing. Please learn from the right person. And when you are learning sign language, who are offering any institute who are offering the classes, if you're seeing that if that person is teaching, who is certified, who has done the course from the RCI Rehabilitation Council of India, that would be the right person to teach you. There are a lot of people who generally signs very well, but it's important to learn Indian Sign Language from a certified deaf trainer. But there would be people, hearing people who might say that yeah, they could easily teach you, but no, the suggestion thing to learn from deaf person only.
Yeah. So a lot of hearing people also, thinking in that they would want to set up places. So, and even deaf people who are not RCI certified, but they have set up places generally and are teaching. So it's important that you know that there is a skilled deaf expert, RCI certified, and you can learn from them so that it's clearer. Yeah. I think
Yes, Muskan here. Sunil said it right that yeah, learning from a deaf person would be the right thing, not the hearing person. Or the other thing, you can see the videos which has been spread across by the ISH News, and you can easily grab up also.
yeah. So different like Ish News, MBM News, all these platforms are a good resource platform to learn, first basics when you've learned from certified teacher, and then you focus on these resources, you practice them, then truly you can pick up the language and you can understand uh, the pragmatics of the language which you have to use on a daily basis. Yeah.
Muskan here. Why I told you about the ISH News, because it has the audio captioning or audio also, and the closed captioning as well, and the ISLSC. So if you are the beginner, you can look out for the ISH News. Then later on, you can see the deaf person video as well.
Right. Manju? So I think it's fine. I think another thing, I believe there are some apps. There are some apps. I think Deaf Enable Foundation has one app. They have an app. And then there is ISLRTC YouTube channel. So you could watch and learn the basics from there. So there are other resources, yeah. But it's important that you learn from a certified deaf instructor who knows the grammar, who knows how to teach. And people who are actually serious about learning, you can get in touch with them. Great.
Right, right.
I think it's time to wrap up. And I think hopefully people, your friends, your family were interested to watch the music videos that came out. And I'm sure everyone's inspired. I already saw that so many people have been inspired. And with this time, we have two amazing women involved. So that's great. And hopefully, we can expand up and have a bigger team. And hopefully, one day, this team will definitely meet the different singers like Spitfire and everyone and be connected. Yeah. Again, thank you so much. And I must thank Ink Records for encouraging and supporting us, supporting the community. Ranveer Singh and the interpreters who are part of this evening and voicing the whole event. Hopefully, you all were interested. Thank you all for working so hard. Thank you. Great. Waving hands for you all. Thank you. Thank you.